Welcome to Jilly's Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how I make my gluten-free flour blend. I make my own for baking for most things. It doesn't have any xanthan gum in it, which a lot of store-bought blends do. And I'll show you how I make that. How I first came across it was when I first went gluten-free, there weren't a lot of options available for gluten-free flours. They didn't have any pre-mixed, and so it was kind of a make your own anyways. And I found a magazine that had ratios and kind of different types of flour and what they were used for. And so I found some flours that I thought would be good and fit kind of the different profiles for the different kinds, because you need more than one. It's not just a 1-to-1 ratio depending on the recipe. But anyway, so I started making my own flour blends with what was available, and I used to use xanthan gum in the beginning, and then I realized I didn't like it very much. I didn't like the texture that it created, and so I stopped using that, and I discovered that usually just one extra egg in the recipe, or just one egg if the recipe doesn't call for it, is all that's needed to give that binding agent. And I do use it in some recipes, but that's for later. So I started making my own flour blend also because gluten-free baked goods that you could buy were terrible, and they were dense and heavy and gluey, and so I was disappointed with all of it and frustrated, and I thought, I can do better than this. I can make my own. And having made my own stuff since I was a kid anyways, I figured, I can do this. I can convert all of my recipes and still have the things that I liked. It was a lot of failures in the beginning, and I feel bad for my friends that had to eat all of my experiments and creations, but took a long time, but I figured it out. I'd say a good solid 2 years before I finally found something consistently that was predictable, and it works really well, and so I've stuck with it. And so I'll show you that today. I have this ginormous bowl. If you don't have one, I recommend that you get one. It's so handy for so many things. But for my flour, you can do a small batch, but I just make a large batch because I'm going to be baking anyways, and it's all stored in the fridge, is what gluten-free flour should be anyways. And so I just pre-mix it all together, and then it's ready. Anyway, so I have this large bowl, and I use 4 different flours. And so my first is Bob's Red Mill. I really prefer this brand. I've tried other brands, and I like this, and I stick with this, and I know how it works. In a pinch, when I've tried other brands, I don't like them as much, so I always try to get this. I order in bulk off of Amazon. And so first up is 2 24-ounce bags of white rice flour. I don't get the white rice. 2 24-ounce bags of white rice flour. And we'll just get started here. One 16-ounce bag of tapioca flour, also known as, it even says right here, also known as tapioca starch. 16 ounces. I usually do the white rice first, and then this is really powdery and puffs up everywhere, especially when you start stirring it. And so as you can see, I put this in between the layers to make it less like this. And then I do 1 16-ounce bag of coconut flour, and sometimes it's in a little bit of chunks, but it breaks up when you start whisking. So 16 ounces of this. And then 16 ounces of almond flour. This one is natural, and so it has darker bits in it. I hadn't gotten this kind before. It's just regular almond flour, and this was what was available this year, so I ordered it, and I actually like it a little bit better than the other almond flour, and so I like this. Anyway, so 16 ounces almond flour. And then we're just gonna mix this around, break up any big clumps. You can sift it if you want to, but. Okay, so I just mix that around, and because it needs to be stored in the fridge, I have a large glass container that I put it in, and it makes it very handy for any baking that you want to do. Again, you don't have to do this large of a batch, but it's just what works for me. So that is my gluten-free flour blend. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any comments, leave them below, and we'll see you on the next one.